Hey everyone, my name is Pete. I'm working on Beat, which is a Bevy meta framework. The idea is that if you use Bevy at every single part of the application stack, you're going to reduce a lot of complexity, right? If you've got Bevy server state, Bevy HTML rendering, Bevy client-side reactivity, Bevy database ORM, like I could just imagine how much simpler everything would be, like just one paradigm, one way to look at things. So that's what I'm exploring at the moment with this 0.0.6 release. The idea is to just get that workflow, that develop, deploy, loop, and tear down loop, right? Just make sure that's all possible, implemented, working, and from there we can explore, where to go next. All right, so how do you get started? So at the moment you're going to need the Beat CLI. We're on RC.3. That might get bumped up. You will have to specify because it is an RC. Once you got that, you can just do a Beat new. It's just a cargo generate. It's going to just create like a basic sort of website template. Let's call that my site. My site. Okay. All right. Now, if you've ever used something like Astro or Next, this might feel a bit familiar. That's kind of where all the inspiration's from, right? Sort of you got your pages directory. These are all just routes, kind of like single page routes. And yeah, so I'll spin up the whatever it's called, the Beat, what's that called? The dev server. I will spin up the dev server. And yeah, we can have a look at how that all looks. Okay, so let's just pop this over here. Open that up. All right, so you've got a basic page. Let's move my face out of the way. Got yourself a basic page. You've got client-side reactivity. It's late in the day. You've got whatever that is, template reloading. You got live template reloading. I could do a 1+1. So that if I did an expression, that would trigger recompilation. We've also got template scope styles. This div is only being, this div selector is only being applied within this template. If I wanted it to apply to everywhere, I just do a scope, global. So these are template directives. It's kind of like very Astro-like thing to do. Okay, so you've got scope styles. We've also got Markdown. So have a look at what that looks like. So that's also got that same reloading. Now it's a little bit funny. I've only got the one parser implemented at the moment. So your Markdown and MDX files are both going to act like MDX files, right? So I've got these expressions are also going to trigger recompilations, that sort of thing. It's just where that's at the moment. Okay, client islands. Okay, so you'll notice this client load directives. The reason why we got those is you can imagine this being a really big file, right, with lots of content. All these kinds of expressions, these would be evaluated at build time, right? So you're building static HTML, but you only want to ship in WASM the stuff that's going to be reactive, right? So that's what these client islands are for. So only if you have a look at the main page, only these two are actually going to be reactive parts of the application. You're just shipping less code. Okay, so having a look at the counter, a lot of this is sort of like placeholder stuff. It's kind of like a basic signals implementation, a basic template macro, just while we're implementing. But everything's returning bundles. Everything's just components. I'm not sure if I'll be able to expand. Maybe if I expand that. Oh, it did work. Okay, great. Does that quickly show you what that looks like? So you've got these nodes. Anyway, yeah, it's all Bevy. It's all Bevy. That's the idea. Okay, and finally server actions. So we also got for example a server counter. Difference being that's actually just calling a server action. So that's defined over here. That's at the moment that's an Axum handler, but eventually that's going to be Bevy systems. Just everything just one paradigm is the idea. Okay, once you got that, you got your server actions, and okay, so let's say we're really happy with our counter, we're really happy with our page, and we want to deploy. Beat YouTube demo. Okay, right. So cool. Let's deploy it. Right. So what I'm looking at the moment for that is infrastructure as code. So this is a technology called SST. Basically, it reads a configuration file, whatever you specify in there. It'll deploy those resources. Things like, for example, staging environments, or extra buckets that you need to link to this environment, and databases, all that sort of stuff. It's going to do all those for you. So that's the idea behind SST. So this step is configuring the resources, and then there'll be the next step after that we call like the deploy step. That's the once you got those resources up, then you got the loop of actually deploying the code, right? So go beat deploy. Now that's just your regular Cargo Lambda with just a little bit of extra steps for the templating to all be worked. Yeah. Okay. So that link, so that link will work as soon as the Lambda's deployed. Maybe while that's happening, I can talk about something. Oh yeah, beat Toml. Okay. And I feel like this is especially important for Rust developers. If you're gonna do code gen, you got to make sure that it's like controllable, configurable, inspectable, that sort of thing. Nothing really happens by default, so everything has to be specified at the moment. At the moment, that's how this looks. So your pages directory, you have to say this is where the path is. This is where I want your output to be generated to. Things like for the client islands. Actually, the client islands won't need CodeGen. Eventually, the client islands will just be Bevy scenes. It will be a lot easier to work with. But that's just how it is at the moment. Okay, so now we're deployed. We got our Lambda function. It's live. Okay, big YouTube demo. Yay! Got your client-side reactivity. Now, if I opened up the network tab, did some server-side reactivity, right? We got like some nice network requests happening. You got your routes. Okay, so looking great. That was fun, but I don't want dangling resources, right? So that's where I'll just go beat infra remove. That's just going to clean up everything. And yeah, that's where we're at the moment. If you're going to give this a go, please stay in touch. I'm on the Bevy Discord. We've got a beat ecosystem crate. There will be problems. I'm sure. Certainly there will be problems. So just let me know, and I'll help you go through them. And we'll see where we go from there.